Hey, you busy? Mm-mm. Okay, let me run something past you real quick. I have been extremely invested in this whole notion of the grind. I feel like we have a huge misconception on what the grind actually is. And more so because I feel like the older we get, we need to pull motivation and determination from other places, right? Because it's just mornings where you do not want to get up. It's just days you don't want to go to work. It's just, I mean, let's just be realistic. We live in times that's just not the greatest. We don't want to drive in those particular traffic conditions. We don't want to drive when it's cold. It's maybe too hot. I mean, we have all the reasons to make up different reasons why the grind could actually be, affected. And so I started doing some research, right? And I'm looking at, you always want to try to see what the people who are wise or wealthy or what have you, what is it that they're doing, You want to start to create those habits and try to more so implement that so that you can receive your portion of the wealth or the wisdom, right? And so it was amazing to me that when I was looking up certain things, I kept finding different forms of how they grind. So, one particular, I'll just name names. So, Dave Ramsey, he was like, listen, he's a financial guru if you don't know. He's like, he needs 8 hours of sleep. He is not the one to be getting up all early in the morning. He is not a morning person. He's cranky, unacceptable. He's not okay with it, right? But he goes to sleep early and he wakes up early and he has a routine and what have you. So I was like, oh, okay. That felt a little bit more my speed because I too am not a morning person. Then I was reading with someone else, another great motivational speaker. He said he gets up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning every morning. And I was like, oh, is that what wealth requires? That I have to get up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning? And then, you hear stuff about Kobe Bryant saying that he was in the gym just ridiculous hours. And so I think that if we're not careful, we start to pick up and have a collective item of this is what I need to do in order to get this result. So you just may feel like since Kobe did it, then that's what I have to do, right? And then find yourself yarning, by the second quarter. And so I was just having a candid conversation with God, and I'm like, what actually is grind? Like, are we supposed to work to the fingerprints come off, down to the knuckle, if you will? Because if I'm honest, I oftentimes struggle with overworking. And that's because I think I'm chasing this invisible monster of I don't want to be lazy. But anyone who knows me knows I am the furthest thing from being lazy. But I think because I know that if I don't stay on track, I'll be on social media all day. I'll sleep 12 hours a day if you let me. Like 10 hours is my sweet spot. 8 hours is, that was cute. 6 hours is, okay, you're pushing it, bruh. I don't know what you're doing, but you have a whole adult life to live today and you are playing thyself, right? And so having that time with God, I'm just like, what is the grind? What does it entail? How come there's no clear definition on it? The Bible speaks about the ants and how diligent and awesome they are. And so what is it for humans? How come we don't have that? This is how you work. Like, I want to whistle while I'm working, but what's the clear boundary between not being super lazy and then not being an overworker as I've experienced? Like, listen, real talk, and I'm just going to be unveiled. I've actually found myself in the hospital, seriously, several times because the intensity behind my hard work is outrageous. And I don't think that it clicked with me any of the times because I figured I could subdue the pain because I'm getting the results that I want, right? And so, if not careful, everything that I pursue, I will continue to pursue it with that level of urgent care intensity. And so, I really got to a place that I'm like, God, I need you to actually show me what it is that I'm not, what I don't see. What am I not seeing? And that just keeps requiring for me to, oh, my neck hurts and my jaw hurts and this hurts and I'm so imbalanced in the inside, but for some reason I tricked my brain to believe, no, that's okay because, it's just a part of getting older. And I mean, that's part of the grind, right? And God was like, no. And the way that God speaks to me, he puts weird things into my mind. And weird as in, it's not the typical, hey, we're going to stay on this particular topic, so we're just going to talk about grind. No, he gives me images and all types of things that I'm like, ooh, and it makes me go on this rabbit hunt to try to follow the breadcrumbs. And then that's when wisdom comes about. So for this particular issue, God brought upon lions and just real whispered real quick to me, King of the Jungle. So I knew exactly what that meant. That meant go find out about the lions and then come back at me. I was like, okay, be right back, God. So I went ahead and I looked up about lions. And the first thing that I looked up is how long do they sleep? I wanted to go ahead and figure out how long does a lion sleep. So I went on sleep.org. And it says that male lions spend 18 to 20 hours a day snoozing, while females get 15 to 18 hours of shut-eye. The lioness spends more time hunting and taking care of cubs, which is why they get slightly less sleep. And following a large meal, lions may even sleep up to 24 hours. Let me put my finger right there. I just may be part lioness because I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. I'm seeing traces of, the lioness in me, especially after Thanksgiving, especially after food. As a matter of fact, my body is so interesting. I am the person that when I work out, I get sleepy. Real talk, that's why I do it at night. I don't know. Shouts out to the people who go to the gym early in the morning and you get your, ooh, I feel so good. My body's like, that was awesome. So where's the pillow? I'm sorry. Oh, there's none here? No worries. I'll find one at home. Immediately. Like, I don't need to have my body will find any reason to find some sleep. So just, I just have maybe been crossbred. Not sure. Get back to God on that, later. But just the fact that, and I want you to keep that in mind, a lion sleeps 18 to 20 hours. And I'm going to get back to why that's so important. Hold that, right? And then the female lion, she sleeps 15 to 18 hours. But 24 hours, have a nice day, if they had a huge meal. So then I was like, okay, that's kind of leading me to, that's how much they sleep. But, that's the animal kingdom. I get it. What else kind of can I pull from it? So I went ahead and tried to identify their characteristic. What does a typical day look like for a lion? Because I think a lot of the time with, pursuing anything new, whether it's entrepreneurship or it's a job or it's school, we kind of struggle on how much of our day should be a part of the grind. Should you be studying, 15 hours a day? Should you be the first one at your job and the last one there, to show that you're a diligent worker? With entrepreneurship, should it just be to the point that somebody walks in your bedroom and it's like, whoa, can't find you because you have paperwork and all kind of things on top of your bed. We can barely even know where your head is at to where the laptop ends. So how much should you be invested in the things that God puts before you, right? So again, that made me just see, where does the lion, how do they kind of live out a typical day? So I went on Lion Habit at ranch.com. And lions enjoy relaxing and lazing around. I'm sorry. Mr. King of the Jungle likes relaxing and lazing? Okay, let's continue to read. They spend between 16 and 20 hours each day resting and sleeping. They have a few sweat glands, so they wisely tend to conserve their energy by resting during the day and become more active at night when it's cooler. Lions have terrific night vision. Again, put my finger on that. Maybe part lioness, because I don't know if it's just me. I thought it was teenage me, but I'm starting to see it's just regular, how I'm wired. I become alive at night. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the fact that I worked night a couple of years straight, 6 years or so. When it was time for me to go to college, I went to school at night because I knew my brain was the richest, the most optimal at that time. I don't know what it is about. Maybe, you know what it may be? It may be because the world seems quieter at night. It's no hustle, it's no bustle. There's no, traffic unless you in the city area and Have a nice day. But it really is truly just a shh. The house is quiet. Everyone's asleep. There's no fire alarms and up and down the street. It's just everybody's quiet except for the crickets and them out there, but we'll talk about that later. But it is this sense of almost like a library situation, right? And it's so it for some reason it just triggers my brain to feel like, okay, let's get some work done, shall we? Maybe the sunshine is too loud for me. Not too sure. But what I found the most incredible is that without telling a lion how it's wired, they knew how to conserve how they're wired. The fact that they knew, I'm sure nobody said, hey, lion, you have very little sweat glands. So all that energy and that jumping up and down and running around, you're not going to be able to do. So they were like, oh, cool, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and rest during the day and become more active at night when it's cooler. And I got this night vision. No problem. Say no more. I got it. Everything's dead around this time. Which, as hear myself speaking to you, is actually really ministering to me. Why is it that we try to go and find a new way to live something out when we already come with what we're supposed to do? Like, what is it about you and how you're wired? What is it that you are trying to override because it's not the norm? Like, I literally knew coming out of high school, mind you, have gone to school daytime all my life from daycare to pre-K, all those years of school. And I knew, I'm probably going to do best going to college at night. Because I would find when I did my homework, I was better able to retain information and things like that. In high school, I just started seeing a pattern. I'm like, listen, if they got another option, I'm going to take on, because I just don't understand who told us we got to go to school that early. I'm not fully awake right now. So you just may be talking to me autopilot. I don't even know how I got to school, to be honest. Like, that's the level of just drainage that's happening here. And I remember bringing home, my first schedule for college, and my mother was absolutely floored. She was actually disgusted, low key, because her thing was, who goes to school at night? But what she didn't realize, and now that I'm recalling this, I'm so glad that I knew this is how I can best serve myself. This is me at my most premium optimum level. So the fact that you can we sitting here just now reading that a lion knows, you know what? I'm going to use what someone else may see as a disadvantage. Someone else may be looking at the lions, in the animal kingdom, and look at them. Lazing around, sleeping. Look at all that. Yeah, but you know what, sir? They have night vision. And you know what else, sir? It's the reason why they are more relaxed in the daytime. Do you see what I'm saying? And so I was like, ooh, you know what? That's a word right in itself. So then again, God said it initially, the king of the jungle. So I'm like, but why the king? Are they the fastest? Like, because what I've been reading so far, research I'm pulling up, is that these brothers are lazy. Ma'am, you too, lioness. Okay, 24 hours, outrageous. Don't eat that much. Why do y'all don't have portion control? What's going on? I don't understand, right? So I went ahead and, oh my goodness, my timer. Hold on, let me just go ahead and just do that real quick. It's okay. I had something on the stove. I wanted to make sure I didn't burn it, but I'm cool. No, you good. We can keep talking. But look, went on Fox News, right? And read an article that confirmed that cheetahs are actually the fastest animal on land. Now that blew my mind. I'm like, time out. So why aren't cheetahs the king of the jungle, right? You've never seen a cheetah in a circus. So clearly they're untamable. But you very much so see a lion, a lioness in the jungle. I'm sorry, in the circus, except for the few times that they snap at their trainers. But, rest in peace to the people who thought, whatever. So again, digging a little deeper, went to Gaudet.org, and it said lions are the king of the jungle because of their raw power and strength. Lions fear no other animals. However, Like a king, lions do have enemies, and the lion's worst enemy is the hyena. So I'm like, out of all the people, all the animals in the world, why y'all scared of somebody who laugh all day? Shouts out to the Lion King, because that's how I remember hyenas. Um, but just taking that and dissecting that. So typically, from the information we have here, lions are usually awake 4 to 6 hours, right? So it just dawned on me. I'm like, wait a minute. So their work ethic between that 4 to 6 hours, you mean to tell me the 4 to 6 hours that they work, that exceeds the fact that they sleep longer than they work? You see me scratching my head? That they need to recoup longer than any other animal? And even with that little bit of a time frame, that's a part-time job. That's 4 to 6 hours. That's a part-time job, no benefits. You see what I'm saying? It's in the jungle. But even with that little time frame, they still maintained the title of being the king of the jungle for this long? Now, you got to look at that with a different level of respect. It's like, listen, I don't know what y'all doing between them 4 to 6 hours, but whatever it is, you doing enough for that. It could be decades, century, and you still known as the king of the jungle. You see what I'm saying? And then, no, it don't even stop there. And then, fun fact, went to funfacts.com, literally, and it said that a lion's lifespan is anywhere from 10 to 14 years. I said, hold on. You're not going to just keep throwing these facts at me and me not process it. How is, you don't, I would think king of the jungle, the biggest, the most ferocious, the fastest, outlives all the other animals. No, none of these are attributes to the lion, and yet they're still, like I said, the king of the jungle. So that made me think, you know what we need to stop doing? I'm just looking at the lion. Why is it that their reality and their truth of them sleeping so long and not living so long and not being the fastest, and why is it that their truth doesn't override what they were called to be? You see me looking at you? Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes we look at the truth of who we are and we bash ourselves. I'm not the slimmest. I'm not the smartest. I didn't come from a wealthy background. My family's dysfunctional. Okay, so what are you doing to make sure that you still maintain your title of greatness? You see, the king of the jungle knows, bro, they sweat glands is trash. And so you know what they do? They live a life that optimizes that title. So what do you need to do to optimize and give yourself the best environment that you can? Or are you working against it? Are you really a night person trying to go to school in the daytime and you're struggling? Are you at the right job? Are you naturally, innately a leader and you find yourself getting in a lot of trouble in the employee, route because you are just, it don't fit for you to be sitting here and just, you feel like you're supposed to be in management. And it's not a good fit for you. You feel bored. There's no enthusiasm behind your work. It's not a level of excellence because you're just like, I'm over it. Okay, so maybe it's management time. Yeah, but my credentials and see, again, you going all around what you're supposed to be doing. The lion can make a zillion excuses. They don't live that long. They not the fastest. Their closest enemy is somebody who laugh all the time. You see, they sleep all the time. Sweat glands is trash. Need to go on eBay, get another set because that's ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? We all have things that if we allow it, it will override what we were called to be. Why don't you go ahead and my challenge to you, real talk, just list what your challenges are. Don't have those credentials yet. Don't come. List whatever you've allowed yourself to identify that this is my truth. And don't hide from it. For goodness crying out loud, don't stray from it. But then on that very same list, I want you to go ahead and counteract that and see how productive you can be if you changed and tweaked a couple of things in your life. Okay, you're not the slimmest, but you know what? You wear mean and put together the outfit that you're supposed to get, and then go ahead and boom. Oh, your foot looks swollen in the heels? Okay. Then have you a mean block shoe game. Like, who cares? Stilettos is not it. That's not the only kind of shoe they make. You always wanted a pair of, but they don't make it for your leg, or you always wanted to fit in, but they don't make it for your size, or you always wanted to live in that community, but for whatever the reason, no. We're not going to keep looking at things like an uphill climb. Listen, it is what it is. Now we're going to go ahead and get the same result, but we're going to attack it different. All right, we can't move around too much because it's daytime. Cool. Then we're going to use this night vision for our advantage. Can you imagine having been a lion and trying to keep up with the rest of the animals and run around all day long? A, probably will go ahead and lessen the lifespan, but B, more so, if you decided you want to sleep at night like all the other animals, you would have never realized you had night vision. And I want you to catch that. Sometimes we don't even know what we're capable of until we start allowing ourselves to be different, to be outside of the crowd. You don't have to fit in. It is not a measure of how much can you fit in into this society and then you win the game. No, you win the game from being different. That's why your fingerprints are unique. That's why your personality doesn't seem, you can't find 3 and 2 of you. You can find someone that has similar traits as you, but it'll never be a full you. And if so, it's definitely a carbon copy and it won't be the same. Tap into whatever it is that is different about you and learn how to live that thing to its fullest potential. And really discover, what's my secret weapon? Oh, I got night vision. Oh, when it's cooler at night, I get the advantage while everybody else is asleep. Come on, catch it. You see what I'm saying? Catch it. While everybody else is doing what everybody else is doing, now you got the advantage. That was a word right there for me. So I challenge you to go back, make that list, and really have it where it's like, ooh, okay, I didn't even discover this superpower in me. Because what you have to truly understand and truly rest in is that whatever God has assigned to you, whatever was supposed to be a part of your story, you have an underlying awesomeness that you have not yet discovered. God didn't give the lion trash sweat glands just so that he can, be the king of the jungle and be made fun of, and then, just everybody just kind of wimps and laughs at the king of the jungle. No, he gave him that because maybe he didn't need him overpowering the daytime. Maybe it was, no, you know what? Nighttime is your realm. Please don't fight against what's your truth, what's your innate wiring. Necessarily being overweight may not be your wiring, but maybe you do best with going to the gym when no one is there. And not because you're ashamed, just because maybe what keeps you from the gym is you don't like the crowd. Maybe you're not a gym person at all. Maybe you're more of, I like to work out in nature because it's it does something to my psyche. It refreshes me. I feel lighter. Like, really tap into you. When's the last time you got to know you? How you doing? No, literally, how are you doing? Have you spoke to you yet? Have you and you been on good terms? Do you understand your ins and outs? And okay, so if you do, and when you do, truly, you'll know exactly how to operate so that whatever your truth is, whatever your circumstance is, you still win. King of the jungle style. You understand? So I want you, when we get off this phone, you already know we talked about this. This is a life-provoking conversations. I don't want it to be a feel-good. I don't want it to be a, never seen it like that, and then you just walk away. No. This is going to be, this changed my life. This changed the way that I looked at something, and now what I'm going to do is put this in so much in full effect that no one's going to be able to recognize me after this. What I once made an excuse, I'm now going to go ahead and make it where it benefits me. Don't excuse your truth anymore. Make it where it works for you and not against you. You see what I'm saying? So, and I'm getting passionate about this because it's like, man, we just discovered the fountain of youth when it comes to like, oh, I never looked at it like that. Like, honestly, even in talking to you, I know I had the idea to speak to you about lions, but I never realized, man, if a lion would have been sulking and feeling some kind of way that, oh man, I want to run, having that Ariel the mermaid experience. I want to be where the people be, looking at other animals and feeling like I want to be like them. Man, imagine that. Imagine them trying to run around and catch up with everyone else and then sleeping at night. Then the whole purpose of God giving you night vision is for nothing. Please don't have it where you're trying to keep up with everybody else and what other people are doing. And I think the older that we get, we kind of don't like to admit that because you want to feel like, no, I'm a leader and not a follower. And no, but if you're honest, you do feel this silent, kind of thing where it's like, man, I wish my business was growing like theirs. I wish, my body looked like their body. I wish my style matched their style. I wish. And you so busy wishing that you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to grow the way that God wired you to grow. To me, the most dangerous person in the world uses what looks like it's a hindrance and uses it as their superpower. King of the jungle style. Shoot, I might go ahead and make that a slogan, for the upcoming year. It's like, ooh, that feels different. King of the jungle. Yeah, I got some attributes about me that may not be the most preferable. Yeah, you wouldn't go up to a dollar menu on attributes and go, let me get the lazy and the sleeping all the time with the poor sweat glands. Hey, do y'all have the, okay, y'all got that? Cool. And then let's make it where, I'm going to choose hyenas to be afraid of, or like the enemy bound. Great. And if I eat too much, yeah, let me get the 24-hour sleep package. Thank you. How much is that? Y'all take cards? Like, no one is going to order that off back, right? But if it's your truth, go ahead and say, okay, I accept that. Not going to try to stay up longer than the average bear. Not going to try to work out to, exercise my sweat muscles. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to accept what it is, and then I'm going to create a new lane. Point blank and the period. You see what I'm saying? So, all right, I'm confident. Honestly, I am. That you know what to do. King of the jungle. So next time I call you and I'm doing my Tarzan, you already know. You're like, oh, here she go again with the king of the jungle. No, because I feel like we all need to be reminded, maybe we need to start growling at each other. I don't know, but I'll think of something clever and we're going to go ahead and figure it out. But as my good Nanny says, all right, I ain't going to hold you. I'm going to call you back. Yeah, that's a poor growl. Anyway, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to call you later. Later.